and you got to remember, most of our tests are based on memorization.
It is.
And it's tailored to say like you're smarter because you can memorize something, not
Exactly.
so much tailored to, like, for example, somebody that's creative or somebody that's more manually I have a lot of admiration for plumbers and carpenters. Try to do what they do.
Exactly.
Just
And it's a
try.
lot of men in those fields.
Yes, and a
So I
lot of
always
men.
encourage students, I'm like, hey, if you want to pick up a trade, you don't want to go to college, okay, let me help you. Because there's a lot of money to be made.
Trade school is amazing. Like, for example, what Autumn and Kevin do, photography. You have to be so creative. You got to edit videos. You got to have social skill sets. You got to convince them that this is the right picture for you because it's a memorable moment. If it's a
Exactly.
wedding, it's there's different levels of intelligence we do not measure, and
Yes,
it's so unfortunate. Like, I believe like there's probably many Einsteins we just passed by because we just couldn't measure their intelligence. I
absolutely.
wanted, and talking about this, I know that self-worth is very, very big for you. How did you discover your self-worth? And you seem to do a beautiful job with your son. I really admire.
Thank you.
How did you discover your self-worth?
How did I discover my self-worth? Well, first off, I want people to understand that you are worthy. You are enough. It doesn't matter what your job title is. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. All of those things do not matter. You are worthy. You have things to say. You are valuable. And I think that's the thing that I had to realize was that I couldn't attach my value to what my job was, what my bank account looked like, who I was dating, who I associated myself with. It was no, it starts within me. And then once I did that inner work, that's when all of those things came into play. So, I had to take accountability. It's very easy for us to say, well, it's because of this person I'm like this. Well, it's because that didn't happen. No, you have to take accountability. I took accountability. I did the inner work. And honestly, I even had to isolate myself for a little bit. So during this time, I did lose some friends because I wasn't available to go to the party. I wasn't available to go to the housewarming. I wasn't available, to do those things because I was working on myself. And deep down inside, I was also hurting. When you start doing that inner work, it's a beautiful thing, but it can also be an ugly thing, because you start to realize, oh my goodness, I settled for this. Wow, why did I do this? Why did I make this decision? I should have made a different decision. So when you do that work, you do tend to isolate yourself, and not isolate as in, you're depressed, but isolate as in now you're starting to realize, I don't have the rose colored glasses on anymore. Is that really my friend? Do these people really have my best interests at heart? Are they really for me? Because people who are really in your corner should want to see you do better. They should want to support you. So, for example, one of the jobs that I had at this time, even though I was salaried, I could do overtime. And of course, because of the work we did, no one wanted to do the extra work. I worked in financial aid. For anyone who's worked in financial aid, you know how it is. So you're always at a school, a high school, a college, doing some type of workshop, financial aid session, FAFSA session, whatever it is. So whether it was in the evening, it was in a whole other county, it was on a Sunday, I was there. And of course, nobody wanted to do it. So it worked out for me. But in the midst of doing those things, like I said, I wasn't available for my friends' social events. And even though in my mind, I'm still supporting them, I'm saying congratulations, happy birthday, this and that, it wasn't enough for them. And that's okay. And I don't blame them, right? Because we all require different things of our friends. But the ones who are in my corner saying, you know what, I see this opportunity for you, or here's an opportunity for you to make money, or you know what, I'm going out, but why don't you take your son? Because how many times, again, I was the only one in my circle that had a child. I can count on one hand how many friends said, you know what, let's go apple picking and bring your son. Let's go to the movies and bring your son. Let's, all of those things help. You know what I mean? So you don't feel so isolated. But doing those, like I said, doing that inner work and separating myself, realizing that the people that I lost really wasn't a loss. It was actually for the best because now I'm in a situation where the people who are in my circle are meant to be there. Those are the people I can depend on. Those are the people where when I'm feeling low, I can call them. Matter of fact, I don't even have to call them. They just know, you know what? your post was a little off. Are you okay? I haven't heard from you in a while. They check up on you, all of those different things. And that's what assured me that not only am I on the right path, but I did the right thing. And ultimately, for me, that's how I was able to find my self worth and be as confident as I am now.
Mhm. Great, great. I love how people take initiative for you, because they get to understand you at a not only at a surface level, they got to understand your ideals, and what were you compromising, what sacrifice you were making for a better future, and they were so integral to say we want to be part of that too. And perhaps
Absolutely.
we might not be able to hang out every day, but guess what? Maybe that one time a year or twice or five times a year is what we need right now. And then when you're loose, when you have that free time, now we have all that time to reconnect.
Exactly. And the thing that was bothering me was the fact that, and it's nothing against anyone, who wants to party every weekend, who wants to hang out, who wants to do the happy. Great, more power to you. But for me, I felt like, okay, I'm doing this, but then I'm going home to a one-bedroom apartment with me and my son and my mom. Okay, so I'm doing this, but I still have this balance from my master's. That's what was holding me up from pursuing a better paying job, from pursuing my doctorate. Okay, so we're doing all of this, right? And we're having fun and all of that great stuff, right? But how is that helping me? How is that helping me build a future for my son? And those were the questions that I had to ask myself. It was almost like I had an out of body experience where it was like, wait a minute. Okay, you're having fun, but how is this helping you in the next 5 to 10 years? How is this preparing you for your future? And unfortunately, I didn't even have to cut people off. They, in a sense, they cut themselves off.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed a lot, like we brought this in another podcast before, when people invest in themselves, other people also recognize the investment in them. So it's like that circle of friends that stay close, like they recognize you're investing in yourself, you're investing in the potential future, and so for them as well, because they see that investment in yourself, they could get inspired by it and be like, oh, maybe I should start investing in myself as well. Like Dr. Tia is doing such an amazing thing, setting herself up for her 20 years of future. They're doing it right now versus the ones who are having fun, going out and partying and all that. Like it's not to put anything on them, but it's just like it's not too much of an investment for that future. I mean, it's for the moment of now, but like let's say you go out like one night and you spend like $100 on on drinks. It's like you just blew $100 in one night for a couple of drinks, so rather than like, oh, maybe I could put that $100 in a savings really fast to put that into education. So that's one of the things in there. Now, I guess with people investing in themselves, how did you also recognize that how did you recognize that the close friends were